Hello and welcome, my juxtaposed jardineras. It's SJB here, and today I've got a cool wizard video for you guys. Now, in honor of the new wizard Paragon coming to Bloons Tower Defense 6, I felt like we should do something cool with the wizards. So I wanted to play Chimps mode for you guys, of course, and I wanted to see if we could build all three 5th tier wizards in a single game. Now that seems a little bit funky right from the get-go, but it gets even more wonky once you actually start to think about it. Because, oh, what the heck? Well, anyways, it was more difficult to start off with a wizard than I thought it would be. I had to start off the Dart Monkey and a wizard and do like a really quick, kind of fast-acting 2/0/0 wizard just to kind of survive in here. And none of this really seems to matter all that much because we're so early in the game, but to get all three 5th tier wizards, I decided to add up the amount of money that we get. And an Archmage, a Wizardlord Phoenix, 56k! All three of these guys together cost about $150,000 on hard mode, and in Chimps mode, you get barely over $170,000 total. And that means that throughout the entirety of the game, I have to spend less than $20,000 on other towers, and every single dollar that I spend on there means that I won't have one of those 5th tiers nearer and nearer to later on and later on in the game. For example, at around 98, we might not be able to afford all three 5th tier wizards and have to somehow survive just 2 of them, and then just force one of the 5th tier wizards to exist on around 99 or 100 just to make it frickin' happen. So that's all really, really scary, but yeah, let's see where this leads us, because right now, early game is actually not too bad. Wizards are actually pretty solid. One other thing that we have to keep in mind here is that Oben and my wizards don't have purple popping power, so we have to specifically get a ninja here to pop purple balloons, and hope that everybody can kind of keep things going here, because just one open ability is not going to cut it here, guys. And there's going to be more purple balloons coming out here as well, so more of our stuff is just disappearing. The money is just going away very quickly, and that upsets me a lot. You guys have not seen the Wizard Paragon yet. I got to admit, he looks freaking cool. He looks really fun. I mean, obviously with any Paragon, you're not expecting him to be a base part of the game here, really. We're not going to be using him all the time, only in specific late game or boss balloon games, but still, just having cool big towers like that is just kind of a fun part of Bloons Tower Defense 6. And if you're really doing those weird, crazy late game challenges and stuff like that, getting all the Paragons on the screen can be really exciting. So anyways, right now I decided to go for a quick, just double 3rd tier with a 4th tier. I felt like this was a good start for us, and now I have to start to like decide what 5th tiers do I want to go for, and is that going to actually get me to where I want to go? My first thought is to probably go for an Archmage. I really like the Archmage. I think he's a good tower overall. He can pop T2Ts, pop a lot of up-class balloons and everything, but that's going to leave me a little bit open to balloons in general. And that scares me a little bit. My second thought is, well, a Wizardlord Phoenix would be freaking sweet, dude. If we went for a Wizardlord Phoenix, we could pop pretty much everything on the screen when we're using the ability. But when the ability's not active, it's gonna suck. Like, we really might end up losing because of stupid ability timings or something like that, which would suck. But he's also the most expensive, and usually saving up for the most expensive thing first is usually optimal. Usually. Because usually you have more money in the early part of the game, and then you're gonna struggle more and more in the late 90s and whatnot. So that's a little bit sketchy. And then, of course, the pod, which I think is probably the best bang for your buck wizard here. Only $28,000 for this puppy, and the previous upgrades aren't that expensive. Like, for example, you might think, well, Archmage, she's only $34,000, it's only $10,000 more, but you also have to spend this $11,000 to get Arcane Spike. That just adds to the price by a lot. So pod is just nice and cheap. Nice, cheap, and easy to get. And I kind of like the idea of just getting this guy kind of early and just letting him ride me into the late game right now. So I think that's my plan. I think I'm going to try to get a pod, try to survive with just a pod here. If I really need to, maybe I'll go for some sort of Arcane Spike Wizard in combination with a Wizardlord Phoenix, and maybe that can just kind of get me to where I want to go until the later part of the game here. So that's the idea. We'll see how this origami swan of ridiculousness ends up unfolding here. But why would we unfold an origami swan? Wouldn't we want to just keep him folded, or fold a new one? Interesting thoughts with Chris. A couple other things I want to talk about really quickly is, well, actually, this ninja wasn't all that important. Purple balloons could have been popped by the unpopped army, and probably for the rest of the game will be popped by the unpopped army. I don't see any large amount of purple sneaking through that defense. This may have been a small smidge of a waste of money, but I definitely needed something for round 25 to survive, and I could not afford anything else. Anyways, I could have also went for another hero if I wanted to. For example, Sada would be a nice starting hero. Easy, cheap, allows me to just get my wizards right how I want to and not waste any money on dart monkeys or anything silly. But I don't know. I just kind of like Oben because Oben's going to end up making our magic monkeys stronger. +5 range, +2 pierce. That's not a bad deal, bro. I mean, especially for things like Dragon's Breath and Arcane Spike. Those are actually awesome things that require a lot of pierce, basically. So here we are. We're at Prince of Darkness money. And I'm actually considering not doing that because I'm surviving so well. I'm thinking, what the heck? What if we just go for a straight-up Wizlord Phoenix right from the get-go? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. We can't force that. We just can't. I mean, if we can not take down round 60, what the heck are we going to do for 63, bro? This combo cannot take down round 63, so we're just going to go pod. It's a little bit upsetting, but again, that's only $28,000. Only setting us back $28,000. Now I just need to save up $56,700 without buying anything else for like a really, really, really long time. This guy has to carry us through all of the 70s and into the 80s as well. Absolute insanity. But the pod's good. Don't underestimate the frickin' pod, bro. He's good. I'm even going to say, screw it. I'm going to try to save some money and not even cross-path this mofo for now. But I also have the Phoenix. If something crazy happens, I have the ability to micro a little bit with that guy. I also have trees to stop some of the balloons here. The only thing that's really going to sneak through is probably the biggest balloons of them all, and that's where I'm hoping that this guy on strong, this guy on strong, and this guy on strong is going to work all together to pop the mob layer and let everything else kind of sneak through here. Now, in addition to talking about balloons today, you guys know that I like to talk about things that are kind of going on in my life, and one of the things that happened recently was something weird. I actually was on a bike ride just the other day, and I found a phone on the side of the street, like literally on the curb. As I was riding by, I was like, is that a phone? And I turned around and I went back and I found a phone. Now, it was a little bit beat up, but it looked like a pretty new iPhone, like an iPhone 13 or 12 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really an iPhone expert or anything like that. Can't tell just by looking at them. But I was like, dang, did somebody really just throw this in the garbage? Or throw this out the window, or just throw it out? So I was like, okay, let's go check this out. So I brought it home, and I plugged it in, because it didn't have any battery. So I was like, okay, all right. So if it doesn't have any battery, it means somebody must have lost it a pretty long time ago for it just to be sitting on the side of the street like that. Literally in the street. In the street. Like, easily could have been run over by a car. Very easily. I don't think it did, because it wasn't that crushed. There definitely was some cracks and stuff like that. So my next thought is, well, how the heck did somebody even lose their phone? And how did they lose it on the side of the road? I know if I was, like, on a bike ride, I would retrace my steps and, like, try to find it. But I was worried, hey, if this thing has no battery, that means it's been out there for a long time. People probably can't retrace their steps to find this thing. It's like, how the heck do I find the person that has this phone? So anyways, I plugged it in, and the first thing that I see is there's the screensaver of the person with their significant other. And I was like, well, all right, this makes it a little easier. I actually know whose phone it is, because I know if you just announce on Facebook or something like that that somebody, did you lose a phone? It's going to be like 1,000 people saying, yeah, it's my phone. So it's hard to decipher who's a liar and trying to steal things and who's actually got a lost phone that needs help, right? So I was trying to figure out what the heck should I do. So I plugged it in. The first thing that I did, maybe this is the wrong thing to do, but I just checked to see if I could do 1234 or 9876 on the passcode and just get into their phone and just call whoever's in their contacts. And then I realized that I couldn't get in, so I was like, whatever, no big deal. And I noticed that there's like an SOS kind of emergency thingamajig, and if you go to the emergency section, you can actually see two of their, like, favorited contacts. So I was able to get a hold of their mom, I believe it was, and they somehow contacted them and told them to come to our house, and I really, really, really wanted to, like, they were so awkward on the phone, it was almost ridiculous. Like they thought I was, like, trying to, like, hold their phone for ransom or something like that. I'm like, no. I just want to get you your phone back. And when they came, I really wanted to ask, like, how did you lose a phone on the side of the road? Like, did you throw it out of the window? Did it fall out of the window? Out of the car? That's the only thing I can assume. Or maybe if you have the kid, I could totally see giving the kid a phone and they just go, whoop, and it goes out of the car and you just have no freaking idea where it went, right? I could see that happening. So any which way, they were very meek and kind of goofy, and don't get me wrong, I'm also meek and goofy, so I can't complain. But I really wanted to know the story, but I did not even ask them. I'm just like, here's your phone, here you go, and they didn't even say thank you. They were just like, okay. Like they thought like I stole it or something like that. It was very weird. The phone also didn't have a case on it. Everything about this story was just goofier and goofier and goofier as it went on. And I don't even think I did a good job explaining the goofiness to you guys of this phone situation. But I just want to throw it out there. That was something that happened recently. And I feel like a good Samaritan, but I also don't feel good about myself from doing it. I was like, I think I should have done that. I think I should have picked up their phone, and I think I should have contacted them. But it just didn't feel good at the end. It wasn't like, thank you. That was so nice of you. Thank you for finding my phone. It was just, oh, okay. Here's my phone. Goodbye. And they just like left very quickly. Very weird feeling. So, yeah. Anyways, sometimes, you know, you don't always require like something for being a good Samaritan, but sometimes you just want to at least feel good about yourself, like you did something right. Even like a good solid thank you, like, oh my god, thank you, that was really nice of you, would have been fantastic, because that's what I would have done at the very least, said thank you. So yeah, to the person who lost their phone, I get that it was a weird situation, but just say thanks next time, maybe. I don't know, if somebody finds your crap, just do it. Alright guys, so check this out. We've got $44,000 saved up already, and right now Pod is doing his freaking job, man. There is no issues. Pod is just making everything happen. But we've got round 80 coming up here. And this is the first round where Pod starts to lose his edge. Because you notice this graveyard starts at 3,000. But, we're going to move this to the front. Move the graveyard to the front. We're going to try to get as much damage out of this guy onto this Oh My God as we possibly can. I'm going to be throwing down thorns up in the front as well. Oh, crap, we did the thorns there. We're throwing the trees down in the very back here. Make sure we do that. And then, oh, this guy's got to go. All right. And then we got a Phoenix. All right, so hopefully all of this combined together will be enough to take down this Oh My God, but obviously there is no guarantees with this. Once we get some graveyard flowing back in here, we should be good. Oh, yeah, graveyard me up. Oh, yeah, and this Oh My God goes down as well with almost 50k saved up. We're only 10k away from our Wizard Lord Phoenix. And once we get that guy, again, it's still not a guarantee, because you can have really weird ability timings and stuff like that just don't work well. But it makes you feel so much freaking better having a big beastly mofo like Wizard Lord Phoenix on your team. Don't forget, this guy's Paragon is going to have a Wizard Lord Phoenix pretty much all the time that is so massively powerful he can easily take down past around 100 Bloons by himself. Oh, and it's always on. It's always on, guys. All right, so look at this. Wizards are just good towers, and I'm kind of excited to see kind of how this works out, because normally a lot of other towers that we've seen Paragons for, boomerangs, dart monkeys, all that stuff, they're fine to get 3 5th-years on the screen, but they're not good. They're, like, fine. But I really feel like wizards are good. Every single wizard that I get here, I just kind of like. And there it is. So we've got our second 5th-year wizard of the game already. We got one more to go. Oh, man, $44,000 more to save up here. And this is with no villages, no alchemists, no nothing supporting us right now. And we're just kind of dominating. Another cool thing about Wizard Lord Phoenix is this Phoenix that just kind of shoots all the time. I mean, it's not, like, all-powerful or anything like that, but it's doing some real damage here. I mean, several thousand at the very least here. All right, it's time. Let's whoop it. Whoop it. If you guys don't know, whoop is just WLP, Wizard Lord Phoenix. Just, I know it, W and L don't really go together well, but you could do it. Whoop it. Now, another thing going on in my life, and I know you guys like when I try to keep you guys updated on what's going on, and for a long time, about a month or so, I just was so migraine-filled that I did nothing fun, and my life sucked, and trying to tell you guys stories about anything going on in my life was just sort of miserable, because it's like, well, today I sat in the dark again and did nothing, while I tried to make sure that my eyes didn't hurt and destroy my brain. Oh yeah, guess what? Today, guys, I put on my sunglasses and played Bloons Tower Defense 6 for about an hour, and then I sat in the dark again for another hour and a half. Yeah, it sucked really bad. So anyways, I decided to do something sort of weird. I decided to get a 3D printer. Now, this is something that I've been wanting for a pretty long time, but I haven't felt the need for it. For a long time, I'm just like, I want that, but I don't need that. So it was a difficult choice for me to finally say, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to buy a 3D printer. And not only am I going to buy a 3D printer, I'm going to buy a 3D printer that is actually going to be able to keep up and do things for me. Because I feel like a lot of the 3D printers that were started like coming out, you're getting into the newness of them, so they're kind of difficult to use. You have to really actually build them and understand how all the parts intricately work together to actually make things happen properly. And I didn't really like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I don't need it. Let's just wait it out, bro. And I finally was like, you know what, 3D printer just went on sale. This is like normally a $500 printer. I got it for like $330 or something like that. Also, didn't charge me tax or shipping, so I don't know, keep that on the down low, guys. But I was like, oh, I can't, dude, that's freaking awesome. Actually came in pretty good. And my very... So, I told you guys that I thought it was going to be super duper easy, and I'll be honest with you guys, I walked in thinking I was going to press a button and just make things happen. It wasn't quite that easy. It took me about 35 minutes to build this thing, like kind of put it together. One of the things that was kind of dangerous, though, is it was set up... I wouldn't even have thought to check this, because pretty much every time I see this suggested to me, I almost always skip the step. It says, make sure that you're on the right voltage for your area. And basically, if you don't know... electricity comes in usually two main voltages, either 120 or 240. Usually, most houses have 240 coming in, and then they sort of split it into two different buses or whatever of like 120. And then you can kind of merge those two back together if you want to, if you really need 240. For example, my car, when I installed the electricity for that, I ended up using 240 because I needed a full 50 amps to kind of charge my car. So again, I'm not an expert, I'm not an electrician or anything like that, but I'll admit that I did do the installation myself, so yeah, alright, let's skip out on that. So, either which way, this printer was set for 240 volts out of the box, which kind of surprised me because that's like a European thing, I think, or maybe a Canadian thing too. I don't really know exactly who does 240, but I know that like certain people do 240. That's kind of like the automatic situation. Either which way, almost turned it on with that thing. I'm like, you know what? Let's just freaking check here. Oh, by the way, check this out. Archmage, $7,000 on around 96. We got them all, boys. All 350s. Woo! All right, so let's get our village down. Throw it down in the middle of everything. It's about that time. Let's go bigger radius jungle drums. I don't think I need camo protection. This guy decamos. This guy's got automatic camo. And this guy, I guess we're just going to give automatic camo just because. And now I got jungle drums. That's an extra 15% attack speed. Nothing absurd, but definitely helpful. All right, so we're going to use the Whoop. I'm going to use it early at 97. It's probably going to blow these guys up pretty quickly. And then we're going to have to use it kind of in the middle of round 98. Now, I'm honestly not afraid of 99. I'm just going to kind of rock this. So 5th tier wizards, dude. Now, one of the things about Paragons is that you're going to need 16 million total pops to get that guy maxed out. And you can notice, the wizards combined together are doing a fantastic job of getting all of the pops without any issues. Like, if you try to spam 600 dart monkeys and get all the pops, it's not easy to do, right? These guys, no big dealio. And actually, we're able to get enough money here to do something weird. We're actually able to afford an overclock if we want to. An overclock either the Whoop or the Archmage for this bad balloon. Actually, I don't know who would be more powerful, but I'm going to guess the Archmage. Maybe that was the wrong choice. But either which way, we're doing pretty freaking good here. Bad balloon's definitely going to go down. I don't see any issues here. I didn't even upgrade this either. Oh, and there it goes. Round 100. Actually, not completely stopper knocked. Ooh, got a little bit dangerous there near the end, but we did take it down. All right, I know that was kind of a short video, but I just feel like I don't exactly know what else to say. I mean, this just, it went too easy. Like, normally I have some issues with something, but this just freaking happened. So I guess we're going to go to free play a couple rounds where I sort of finish off my 3D printer story. So, maybe we'll lose right away, by the way. I'm not sure. But I ended up getting this 3D printer out of the box. I wouldn't say that it just worked. I had a little bit of trouble with, I guess, leveling the bed, which I didn't know was such an important thing. Not only do you have to level it down to, like, the frickin' micron, bro. So the very first 3D printer thing that I tried to make, it turned into a bunch of squiggly lines, is the best thing I can explain to you. And it just started breaking everything, and it did not go well. Just to be honest here, it did not go well. So, my second print, I was like, let's auto-level this thing again, because I figured it's got an auto-leveling feature. That must be good. No, the auto-leveling feature doesn't work that well. It does work a little bit, but you really have to, like, you have to level it yourself before you auto-level it, if that makes any sense. And then when you auto-level it, it kind of gets down to the nittiest of the grittiest of the little different sections. But either which way, right now, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, there's... Oh, wait! There it is! Oh, we survived! Crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but right now I've got a little fan going on right next to me because that is the 3D printer doing 3D printing things. It's currently 96% done making a rabbit. A little tiny rabbit. It's actually really cute. And this is kind of exciting to see what else I'm going to end up making. So I saw, I even looked on this place called Thingiverse. And on Thingiverse, there actually was some Bloons stuff. So if you guys have any 3D models that you want me to print out or have some fun with, you want to send them my way, reach out to me on Discord and we'll talk to each other. Or if any of you guys are by any chance 3D modelers and you want to 3D model me some stuff, I might even be able to like hire you for some jobs. So let me know and we can possibly work together on that stuff. But you got to be pretty good. Just no offense to sucktastic people. I don't want to work with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Either just figure it out myself or hire somebody who actually knows what they're doing. If you want to make money, you got to be good at it, I guess. But either which way, if you guys enjoyed, press that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't. And of course, have a super duper delicious day.